Tactically, English football is in better shape than ever, and the tactical shifts of the Premier League's managers has had a positive effect on a handful of players. When Davon Lewis swooped back into Stamford Bridge on transfer deadline day, wearing a backwards baseball cap and doing the sort of hand signals favoured by middle-aged American men, the whole country had a laugh at Chelsea's expense. But since the switch to 3-4-3, the laughter has turned to praise from pundits and opposition fans alike. Technically, he's always been excellent, and playing as a classically Italian-style sweeper, slightly behind Cahill and Azpilicueta, he's utilised his passing range and reading of the game. With the man-to-man marking down to the other two defenders, he's been free to make last-ditch tackles, win headers, and continuously rally the team from his little pocket of joy. Hazard and Costa might have been reinvigorated by Antonio Conte, but Davon Lewis has reinvented himself as a modern colossus thanks to the tactical switch to 3-4-3. In Jurgen Klopp's first season at Liverpool, Adam Lallana did a lot of running. Used to playing a similar style under Pochettino, he was the first to adapt and quickly became the player Klopp looked to orchestrate the counter-press on the pitch. In an attacking sense, he did very little, unless you count the endless step-overs with both feet. Not quick enough to beat fullbacks one-on-one when playing in one of the wide forward positions, he often ended up cutting inside with little end result. But since moving into the midfield three, he's been a revelation. His peripheral vision and ability to take the ball on both feet allows him to continuously break the midfield line. And his later surges into the attacking third have resulted in his best season for Liverpool in terms of goals and assists. Rejuvenated under Rafa Benitez at Newcastle last season, Townsend endured a horror start to life at Crystal Palace under Alan Pardew. On the bench and moaning about wanting to play on the right so he could cut in onto his left foot and blast the ball high into the stands. But despite not starting brilliantly under Big Sam, he's worked hard with new head of fitness Rylan Morgans, and he's added defensive graft to his game, with his work rate statistics having almost doubled. Playing mainly on the left, but with licence to switch sides with Wilf Zaha, he's scored and assisted more in the past 2 months than he had in the rest of the season, and is tormenting fullbacks for fun. For some players, tactical shifts come as second nature, and for others, it's not so easy. As for Arsenal, it's a whole different kettle of fish. If Paul Pogba hadn't cost £90 million, hadn't signed for Manchester United, and didn't have his own emoji, then he probably wouldn't have made it onto this list. However, you can't get away with a string of average performances when you've gone for that sort of cash, so here he is. In flashes, Pogba has been very, very good, but after having an established position at Juventus, he's been floating around the United midfield without a defined role. When he's deep, he struggles to affect the game, and when he's played at 10, he hasn't scored or assisted enough. You can see he's desperate to improve, and Mourinho will surely help him with that, but we'll probably see the best of him next season when the fee isn't hanging over his head. He scored 28 goals in 42 games this season, but before you go mad in the comments, it's worth considering that after Gabriel Jesus joined in January, Aguero was pushed straight down the pecking order. Guardiola likes young players that he can mould, but in some ways, the injury to Jesus has been good for Aguero and Pep. Aguero, having initially looked to have lost out in Pep's tactical shift, has responded by upping his game and mostly his off-the-ball defensive work rate immensely, which is key to Pep's tactics. In one recent game, he sprinted 40 yards to close down a defender. He's striving to improve his all-around attacking game, and looks like he's prepared to follow Guardiola's gospel and become a fully rounded modern striker, which is terrifying. In recent years, Arsenal have been victims of their own success, and tactically they've fallen behind their rivals due to a reluctance to change. Quite simply, this season's horror show has been a long time coming for Arsenal. Yes, they might win the FA Cup again, but Wenger's decade-long tactical straitjacket has cast a cloak of negativity over the whole club, with the media knifing him at all opportunities, fans ranting themselves into oblivion, and certain players downing tools. Things eventually got so bad, and a change had to happen. The move to 3-4-3, which, let's be honest, looks like a desperate last roll of the dice, did have an immediate impact, but was ruthlessly dismantled by Spurs. Wenger's a good man, who's done great things for the league, but in an era when tactical fluidity is a must, he looks a man out of time and out of ideas. This season has shown just how important tactics are in football, and just how important change is. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Copa90 for more content like this, and check out Top 11 in the description below whilst you're at it.